Hello, and welcome to the East Africa Business Podcast. I'm Sam Floy, and I'm here on the continent to learn about the emerging business scene. I'll be interviewing startups, investors, and organisations who are all playing their part in helping the region develop and grow. And in doing this podcast, I'll be sharing with you the things I learned along the way.
Arriving in Kampala, the capital city of Uganda, one of the first things that people notice are how many motorbikes there are. It's the de facto mode of transport for getting taxied around the city in a place where car congestion is very heavy. Near where I was staying was a showroom for Miracle Motors, a subsidiary of the larger Indian conglomerate Mahindra Group. After walking in, the head of the office, Pankaj, agreed to an interview, and we spoke about the many customer types that motorbikes have, considerations of importing unfinished goods, and the evolution of the personal transport market in the region. Now, Pankaj gives a thorough answer as we get started, and so if you start feeling that life's too short, you can skip to around 6 minutes when the pace picks up a bit. Either way, it's a really interesting discussion, and so I hope you enjoy.
Okay, so I'm here today with Pankaj. Pankaj, welcome to the show.
Yeah, how are you? Good morning.
I'm very well, thanks. Cool. So I was wondering, could you tell us a bit about Miracle Motors and sort of how the business is set up?
So let me start with the Mahindra Group first. Mahindra Group is the manufacturer of all automobile range of cars, trucks, buses, tractors, and now into the aircrafts also. We are having the tie-up with the Boeing for the aircraft manufacturing. Now, two-wheeler is the one division of Mahindra Group in India. Our manufacturing facility is in a place called Pithampur near Indore in India, and the head office is in Bombay. We at Miracle Motors, we are the sole distributors of Mahindra motorcycles in Uganda, and having the dealer network in Uganda. We are operating all the dealers from Uganda. Our head office is in Kampala at Kamocha. We are also having the showroom here, and we are also operating the sales through our showrooms. We are having our assembly unit where we get the bikes in the CKD form. We assemble it here, and those assembled bikes are come to our showroom for selling. It is directly to the customers or through the dealers. And we are also having the corporate client with us, which are directly handled by Miracle Motors. So as of now, the operation has been started just 3 years back, and now the range of products is increasing given by Mahindra in terms of motorcycles, scooters, and further some more range is expected maybe by 2017, and by this we are going up. Basic segment is the motorcycle segment, which we call it Aero XT. It is a 110cc bike, which is mostly used by the Boda community. They are taking the bike not for commuting themselves, but for their employment. The young people, the youth of Uganda, which is as per the statistics, is 85% is unemployed still. So they are getting their employment. Their earnings, they are earning about 80,000, 30 to 35,000 per day. So now the business in Uganda is something different for the motorcycles. How it works, there are the fleet owners. Some Boda riders are having their own money, but there are different channels which I want to clear it to you. Number one is the direct customers. They come with the cash and pay the cash to us and take the bike. Number two is the customer which are going through the loan through bank or some other finance company. So they are depositing the initial payment to us, and afterwards they are paying 65,000 or 70,000 per week for repayment. The loan is up to 12 months, or maybe in some cases it is up to 18 months also. The third category is the operated through fleet owners. Their fleet owners purchase the bike directly from us, and they give them on rent. They are collecting the rent on the daily basis from them. By that they are getting the employment, and different type of customers are there in rural areas, upcountry areas, and if you see in Kampala, it's a more a cosmopolitan type of city, so the customer category is different in Kampala. As I told you that there are the Boda customers in Kampala as well as the corporate customers. Also the families are taking the scooters and the bikes from us. A corporate sale has been increasing because of the variety of the models we are having in motorcycles and scooters. People prefer a scooter because it is much more comfortable than the motorcycle. Riding in the scooter is comfortable because both the legs are inside the body of the scooter, while in the bike it is outside. So always you feel comfortable when you ride the scooter. The corporate customers are a bit a niche customer for us, so they are coming to us because of the variety. The competition in Uganda is not having all the variety which Mahindra is having, which Miracle Motors is providing them. They are ready to pay the cost, but at the same time they need the convenience and the services. Our service facility is also there in the entire Uganda. We are having the fully equipped workshop in Kampala, and it is in the head office, and we have trained more than 500 mechanics all across the country for servicing the bikes in the upcountry areas. As servicing is going on, the spare parts availability is the mandatory thing for them. So we are providing all the spare parts whichever are required at our showroom. It is always available, but for the upcountry areas also they are available everywhere wherever there are our bikes.
And so I've got a load of questions. That was a really good introduction. So just so I've got this right, so the spare parts and the bikes that you're getting in, are they coming directly from India?
Yeah.
So they get shipped over, and they arrive in Uganda, and they come to your showroom, and then if people want the spare parts, they come directly. Is it why do you not assemble them here in Uganda?
Yeah, we are having an assembly unit in Kampala. So we are assembling it there. The assembled bikes comes to the showroom.
Okay, so that means they come in parts, and then
they comes in box. Yeah, they come in the box. Big boxes are there. The engine box is a separate box, and the body parts are the separates. Yeah.
I see. And you say that you have lots of different range of bikes. Which ones have you found have been the most popular?
What I told you, that Aero XT, which is 110cc bike, is most popular in Uganda because of the different region, like the different category of the customers are using the same bike. The Boda is the major category.
And so, what is a Boda?
Okay, let me explain about the Boda. Boda is something in Uganda. You see, when you want to go from one place to another place, they use the bike as a commuting.
It's like a motorbike taxi.
A taxi.
I see.
It's a taxi.
Yeah.
And they are charging very nominal, so the people are affording that, and it is a employment for the youth. And this is the Boda category.
Yeah.
And second category is the personal category, which I told you they are using for their personal use, and the corporate customers, which are using for their official use as well. These are all the categories which we are giving.
See. And if somebody doesn't buy a Miracle Motor, what do they have other options here?
They have the options. The competition is tough. The competition is also growing. We are also growing with the competition. See, it's a race. We are into the race now, and we are just upgrade ourselves through our marketing activities, through our manpower, through our dealer development plan, and all those plans. But competition is always there, and when there is a competition, you will find the business more healthy.
It keeps you on your toes.
Yeah.
So are there roughly, is it just one other competitor? What does the market look like? What is the industry? How is it made up?
Total market size is around 5,000 bikes per month.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are just fighting to improve our market share in Uganda. We have improved it in last 6 months. Maybe if you see in last 1 year, we are continuously improving our market share because of our services and the facilities which are providing to the customers. On the other hand, we are also trying to exchange the bike of the customer. If he is having the very old bike and he wants a new bike, we take his bike and give him a new bike after adjusting the margin money.
I see. What do you do with the old bike?
With the old bike, normally we sell it in upcountry areas.
See. And how much do you get for it? How much does an old bike cost?
It's very difficult to say because it depends on the condition of the bike, the age of the number plate. So all those things are variable.
But is it typically sort of 20% of the trade-in value? So do they, if I bring in my old bike, what discount do I get on a new bike?
For some you can get 20%, even sometimes you can get 30, 35, up to 40% you can get if it is a good condition bike.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you have your main headquarters here. Where else in the country do you operate? Do you have a couple of other hubs?
Yeah. We are operating in every region of the country. The eastern we are having the dealers. In the northern part of the Uganda we are having our dealer network. In Kampala we are present as a head office here. In northwestern we are having a dealer network. In western we are having our own outlet in a place called Mbarara.
Can you tell me, how does the dealer network work?
Okay. Normally we make the dealers looking at their social status and their financial status, their capability to run the business. Most important is their interest in the two-wheeler business, because two-wheeler business is something different from any other business. So if they are interested in the two-wheeler business, they comes to us, we interview them, we ask them some set of questions, and if they qualify and falls in our criteria, we make them a dealer, and initially we send them the stock of 10 bikes to start with. After that, as the sales goes on, they keep on lifting the bikes from us.
You said that the two-wheeler market is different. What makes it different to other industries?
Okay. Two-wheeler market is different. Why I said this? Because two-wheeler is used in a different multi-purpose use, as I told you before also. Two-wheelers in Uganda has been used for the employment of the people, number one, for the youth, for the family purpose, for the personal use, for the official purpose, for the corporate customers, even for the social activities, like they are going up countries and off-roads to serve the community here, the child welfare, the women welfare, child education. Lot of awareness program are going on by the NGOs here. They also need the bikes to move. So that is why it is a different, because there is not a single set of customer which is coming to us. There are different type of people we are handling with. Our team is handling with a different type of people. So that is why it is a different industry.
Okay. Yeah. And what are some of the questions that you ask when somebody wants to become a dealer?
Okay. So first of all, is if he is interested, he will come to us. And if his interest matters a lot. Secondly, the financial capability of the person. If he is having that much of amount to invest initially, then we have to check some social status also in the town. We are looking that he must have sufficient space for the showroom and for the workshop also. He must be ready to keep the staff for selling the bikes. If all those things are okay and falls in our criteria, we make him a dealer.
Okay. When Mahindra Group or Mahindra two-wheelers were looking at where to move their business, why did they choose Uganda 3 years ago?
Uganda was, if you go to the history of the Uganda and Kenya, even Tanzania also so far, if you look back, the boda segment were using bicycles initially, from commuting from one place to another place. In upcountry areas, you will still find some bicycles are there. They nicely built the seats, and the cushioned seats were there for commuting to the passengers. But the bicycle riding is getting tough for them. So one of our competition started here with the step-through bikes. The step-through is something in between a scooter and moped. So step-through was a great success in Uganda. So when the motorcycle comes here, the step-through market has been totally converted into the motorcycle segment. But they are having their own limitations. They cannot go for a very expensive bike. So that is why the 110cc or 100cc bike is most acceptable in the Ugandan market.
And since you started here 3 years ago, what has been the biggest surprise for you?
3 years back or today?
In the last 3 years, or since you started Miracle Motors here, what has been the biggest surprise for you?
There are no such surprises as such, but yeah, whenever there is a growth in terms of whenever we start a new dealer in a new region and suddenly the number comes, the people got excited, and as well as the team also get excited by those numbers and the success. So this, if you say surprises, that these surprises comes every month and it has to.
Yeah, I see. And what has been the biggest lesson that you have learned since you started?
Providing the finance support to the people, like through the banks, because we are not the financiers, we are just the distributors of the motorcycles. Earlier we used to do some finances to the people, but it was a heavy load, financial burden on us, so we stopped that. So we are now having the tie-ups with the financial institutions here, who are providing the loans after checking all their criteria, their TIN numbers, national ID, whatever they want. Now this is the achievement which we did in last 1 year, and now things are moving, and now more and more customers are coming because we are able to provide them the finance, number one. Number two, we are doing lot of trainings in terms of teaching them how to use the bike, how to keep them fit, servicing of the bike should be proper and in time, and they must not use the spurious parts so that they can spoil the bike. So all those trainings, our service team is there. Our sales team is also training them, telling about the features and the benefits to the customer. So training part, they appreciate the training part here, because most of the customers are not aware what exactly is in the bike and what are the benefits which they are getting from the bike. They are just taking the bike because they get the employment, but there are other benefits also which they are getting from our bike.
See.
Yeah.
And how many members of staff do you have in the Kampala, or actually in the whole of Uganda?
Total number of staff,
Mm-hmm.
it is around 50 people working here.
And what is the split between sort of sales and service?
Sales team is the bigger team as far as the service is concerned, but yeah, service team is also working, and in every region there is a service team which are operating. But service and spare parts team is the same team, and sales team is a different team. Apart from the sales and service, we are having the manufacturing team, accounts team, logistic team. All those different operations are there.
See. And so do Miracle Motors operate in other countries in East Africa?
No, not yet.
Okay, not yet. Do you think they will go soon?
Let us see. No, I can't comment anything on this right now.
Okay, cool. But Uganda is the first place to go.
Uganda is the only place right now.
I see. And when you look at sort of what might happen in the next 3 years for the whole motorcycle industry, what do you think it might look like in 3 years in Uganda?
Next 3 years?
In the next 3 years.
Okay. Next 3 years the market may shift from 110cc maybe to the higher cc's, maybe to 125cc or 150cc. People need more masculine type of bike, more power. So it is shifting, because already if you see in the Asian countries, in China and India and Pakistan and all those countries, the market is already being shifted from 110cc to 150cc and the higher cc's. So here also the same situation will happen, because gradually it is just entry segment. 110cc is the entry segment for the customers, but they definitely upgrade themselves as the time goes on. But two-wheeler customer will upgrade to four-wheeler also sometimes, but even if he is having the four-wheeler, he will keep the two-wheeler for him, because of the traffic conditions. Everywhere in the world you can see that bad traffic conditions are there. So they used to keep, even in our office there are a lot of cars, but we are using two-wheelers to going from one place to another place to avoid the traffic, to save the time.
I see. Oh, yeah. So the
time saving is the most important part.
I see.
Also the fuel saving, yeah, because two-wheeler always consume less fuel than the four-wheelers.
So you don't think that? So you think that people will start to get cars, but they won't stop using?
Yeah, because in two-wheelers you can save both your time and money at the same time, and if you are able to save your time and money, nothing like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is the reason two-wheelers are selling, and the market will also keep on increasing every year. The expectation is the market will increase around 15 to 20%. The growth will be there.
So that this is people who go from never having a two-wheeler to having access to a two-wheeler? Is this what you mean when you say the market will grow?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you think it will also be that the people who currently have 100cc will go on to have a bigger, maybe 120.
But once the market grows, somebody has to come with a higher cc bike. Then only it will grow.
See. Oh, I see. So at the moment, when you talk about
and it should be also be the cost competitive. Otherwise, if it will be very expensive bike, then these people, the Boda community, would very difficult for them to afford that bike.
I understand. So when you talk about the current motorcycle market in Uganda, all of the bikes are 100cc?
Not all of the bikes, but yeah, most of the bikes, like 70%, 75% of the market is 100cc.
I see.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm interested, when you said that you have some corporate clients, so this is kind of like a company car kind of thing? Is in they provide the motorcycle for their employees, or what does it look like?
Mostly they are using it because their employees are going from one place to another place throughout the day. So if they go by the car, they will be wasting a lot of time, and if they go by the Boda, they have to pay nearly 10,000 or 15,000 shillings per day in moving from one place to another place.
Mm-hmm.
So it is not convenient also, as well as it is not economical also. So in both the ways, the bike is convenient as well as economical. So they are taking the bikes for that reason.
And is the employee driving the bike themselves, or do they have a driver for them?
No, the employee drives themselves. Yeah.
If they drive themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. And what are the type of corporates that use your bikes?
Corporates is a huge term. We call it corporates, but actually corporates means the big groups, number one. Number two are the small groups. Number three, if we give to the petty shopkeepers also, that too comes under the corporate category. Mm-hmm. So if the person is, for example, a person is having the hardware shop and he needs a bike, and his employee is going from one place to another place, so we will count in a corporate sale.
I see.
Yeah.
And do you have a two-wheeler?
Yeah.
Do you have a two-wheeler? Do you have a...
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which do you have the best one, or do you have...
I am having a bike of Mahindra.
Yeah. And are you having the best one, that is, you haven't got the best bike that you sell?
Obviously the best bike.
Obviously the best bike.
Yeah. Best because why I am saying it best, not because I am the employee of Mahindra, but there are certain features which competition is not having, which Mahindra is having.
Okay.
So that is why I am saying it best.
See. And the competitors, are they, any of them, do they also have their headquarters abroad and they ship in the bikes, or is there a Ugandan motorbike?
Here if you see, mostly the Indian, Japanese and Chinese, only three countries are importing, like in Uganda.
I see. So they all have a similar setup where they send over boxes and they all assemble them.
Yeah. That is the only way they can come with. They cannot send the assembled bikes. A lot of duty will be there if they send the assembled bikes.
Oh really? How do you mean?
Yeah, I don't know the norms. Taxes and duties are there.
Okay. So it is. There are more taxes if you send it.
If we send the assembled bike.
Okay. So why is that?
I don't know what are the government policies. I can't say anything about it. But yeah, for the assembled unit, there is more taxes and duties.
Okay, so it makes economical sense for you to send it.
Yeah, obviously.
Okay. And for it to come. See, I'm just going to have a look and see if any other questions. Okay. So if so the people who are currently going to be buying the two-wheeler for the first time, what are they typically using beforehand? Do they sort of have a bicycle, or is it just that they've never been able to transport themselves?
All the categories are there. As I told you, the two-wheeler customer is coming from the different category.
So for the let's say for the Boda Boda,
He may be using the bicycle, he may be using the Boda Boda, or even he may be using the car also. But in the car he find difficult to cope up with the traffic, so he might have come to the two-wheeler. So any case can be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you do your marketing?
Marketing?
How do you do billboards? Do you do newspaper adverts? How do you connect?
It's a different chapter altogether. Marketing is a separate chapter. But if you go very deep in it, it will be huge. But in short, I can tell you, we are doing all 360 degrees type of activities, starting from the billboards, TV, radio, newspaper, test rides, meeting people, going to the Boda stages, going to the corporate clients, continuously visiting them, meeting them, telephonic calls, follow-ups, everything is there. So it's a huge thing. It's like an ocean.
It's like an ocean. And is this what the sales team are doing? Is this what your sales team are doing?
Yeah, we are doing all these things, but not exactly all the things at the same time, but we are just rotating, because every activity has some of the expenses. So we have to make some marketing budget every month, and we are utilizing that budget in different type of activities.
I see. And do you have autonomy over how to spend the budget, or do you have direction from Mahindra to
Both ways. It is both ways. We are also suggesting something to them. Our principals are also guiding us something. So on a mutual understanding, we are doing such activities.
I see. And are there any sort of general lessons that you learn from being part of the Mahindra Group, or are you kind of left to your own devices?
The lesson which I learned as a part of the Mahindra Group, the company is the employee-friendly company. They listen to the feedback and they work on it. This is the best part, because earlier also I worked in different companies, and in every company there is some good thing. But in Mahindra, this is good, that they are employee-friendly and work on the feedbacks.
See. So what did you do before you started at Miracle Motors?
I was associated with Mahindra two-wheelers in India. So I was looking after the region there for the sales.
I see. And why did you want to move to Uganda?
Ugandan market is a big market. I was not having the international exposure to me. So moving abroad from India was an opportunity for me to grab that opportunity. And yes, when I come here, I see a different environment. Market environment is different altogether. If I compare to India. In India also you can feel some different markets in the different regions, because if you go towards the southern India, it's a different market. If you comes towards the northern or the eastern part, it's a different set of the customers. But here it is entirely different, because here you are giving the bike is a business part, but you are also giving the employment to the person who is taking your bike. So it's again a social act also.
I see. And we'll just do a few more questions, if that's okay. When it comes to selling somebody a bike for a Boda Boda, for them to be a motorcycle taxi, is there any training that is involved with, or could I just buy a motorbike?
Good, very good. I appreciate this question. So first we always check the driving permit of the Boda customers. Number one, we are providing one helmet free to them for their safety. And when they are taking the bike, we just teach them how to drive it safely. While on turning, they must use the indicators, and the driving speed, there must be some limit for the speed, not the rough driving. If the rough driving be there, it can harm the person also as well as to the bike also. We are giving the insurance, which is included in the cost of the bike. So all those things are mandatory, and which are. So you asked this question, that's why I recall. But as in a subconscious state, it is mandatory for us. We are doing it continuously.
I see.
Okay.
Very good. And if anybody who's listening wants to sort of follow what Miracle Motors is doing, is there a way for them to to see what you guys are doing on social media or on your website?
Yeah, we are having the website. We are on Facebook. We tweet, and so.
What do you tweet about?
About the activities, about the tie-ups, about we organized a football tournament here, so we sponsored that. So I tweeted that.
Oh, really?
So lot of things I used to tweet.
Oh, cool. Who is playing in the football tournament?
Yeah, there's a football tournament in Kampala. For the Boda teams, there were 11 teams of the Boda. So they are, because football is a popular game here.
Yeah.
In
Wait,
Uganda.
so there's like people who drive the Bodas, they get together in a football team?
They make their own football teams here.
Okay.
Yeah, and they play. They enjoy the playing.
Oh, right.
So they are looking for some of the sponsors for some arrangements, some water and sodas, all those things.
Right. Does this happen every year, or did you just?
It happens like anytime, like in every 2 months or 3 months it happens.
Everything. All right.
Yeah. Even our employees, they are also making. They are also having the team. They are used to play.
I see. Do you have a team nickname? Are you like Miracle Motor United or something?
It's a Miracle Motors team.
Miracle Motors team. Yeah.
All the people like young boys of marketing and accounts, they make a team and they're playing.
Awesome. And are you good? Like did you win the tournament?
Yeah, because we had a tournament about 15 days back, so nearby.
Yeah.
So I visited there, but not for much time, but for 5-10 minutes only.
Very good. Enough to send a tweet.
Yeah, it was on Sunday. Yeah.
Very good. Cool. Well, Pankaj, thank you so much.
Thank you, Sam.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Before we head, just a quick moment to say thank you for listening. You can see the show notes for this episode by heading to samfloy.com/podcast. That's samfloy.com/podcast. This show is still relatively new, and so I really appreciate you making it through to the end. What would be great is, if you're enjoying it, to tell a couple of your friends about it too, in case they'd also be interested in giving it a listen. Also, if you have any questions, comments or feedback, please feel free to email me, podcast@samfloy.com. I'd be happy to chat. In any case, have a great week and speak to you soon.